Hi, Mitch Houshelt, Maximum Training Solutions. I want to go over a few things with deceleration today. And a lot of athletes, when I train deceleration, kind of look at me a little bit funny, wondering why it is I put so much emphasis on deceleration. For one, from an injury perspective, it's extremely important. Most of our athletes that get injured, especially if they're tearing an ACL, do so because they're not decelerating under control and absorbing force. But also from a performance perspective, if we can't slow down and stop, other athletes are going to be able to slow down, stop, and change direction better than us. We don't have a chance. Example I always use is, you look at a guy like Michael Jordan back in his heyday. Obviously, he was a good shooter, he was a good ball handler, he was fast, things like that. But there were guys in the NBA that could do a lot of those things better than he could. But what he could do better than those guys is he could push the ball up the floor, stop on a dime, and pull up and hit a shot. And you see those happen all the time with his highlights. So from a performance perspective, it makes a whole lot of sense to train deceleration. So for today, we're just going to talk about basically this vertical deceleration. So as our athletes come down, like from a rebound, or they may go up to head a ball, how are they landing and decelerating in control? As I said, it is an injury prevention thing, but in this perspective, if we decelerate and control from a performance side, we're really loading the hips again, getting ready to jump again. So now we're in a good biomechanical position, ready to take off. So what we're going to start with here is just a drop squat. Okay, so Jordan here, she's going to start hands on hips, nice controlled position, feet a little wider than shoulder width, and she's just going to drop down to a good position right there. Good. Stand back up. So it's a real quick, just drop down into it. Okay, so this is the position I want to see her in. Go ahead and face that direction, do it again. Okay. Okay, good. Now I don't want to see those knees come way forward, those toes. That's more of a quad dominant position. I really want to see her sitting back on her heels. But I want her weight evenly distributed through her entire foot. I coach my athletes to say, hey, I want you to land flat-footed. I don't want you to land heels, toes. I want that good flat so we can really absorb all that force. So from there, we're going to go into a jump squat. So she's going to jump a couple times and then land under control. Okay? Very good. So this is obviously a real simple remedial exercise, but you'd be amazed how many high-end athletes can't do this. So give me a couple more of those. So we're looking to see, just get off the ground and then absorb a little force. So now it's a little more dynamic movement, getting a little stretch reflex in there, and then absorb on that last one. So once she's mastered that, we can go to a box step off. Okay, so from here, we're going to have her hop up on a box, and you can start real low. This is obviously a 12-inch box, pretty easy. But then sometimes we'll work all the way up to an 18, 24, even up to like a 3-foot box. So our bigger athletes, our stronger athletes understand they still need to absorb force. So from here, she's just going to step off, drop off the box, land flat-footed, and then step back up. And the big thing I coach our athletes is I don't want to hear any noise. That's the easiest thing for athletes to understand is if they don't hear noise, odds are pretty good that they're absorbing force. Let's go again here, Jordan. Okay, good. Now the next step in this progression is we're going to go to a box jump. Okay, so we're going to step off. So she's going to start on the floor. Now we can start to build in a little bit of this triple extension, a little power development along with the deceleration control. So she's going to jump, land softly on the box, and then just step down. Okay, so this is how I actually train the vast majority of my box jumps. I will do some more traditional plyometrics, but from my perspective, I still get a lot of good power development out of this, but I'm also really training my athletes how to decelerate and control. Give us a couple more here. Now, the question I get with a lot of our coaches and athletes is, how do you really expect me in a basketball game or a soccer match or a football game or whatever to land in this way? And the answer is I don't expect that because you can't. It's not feasible. But what we're hoping to do is to train neurological patterns that are advantageous for us. So when she lands in this position with the feet flat and absorbs that force, she's trained the nervous system to turn on glutes and hamstrings versus quads, which is going to protect that ACL. She's also training them to understand how to load and contract eccentrically as that muscle gets longer. So now when she goes up for a rebound and has to come down in an awkward position, she's still able to activate in a similar neurological pattern, even though she's not landing in the right, that same position. So from there, we can go into single leg of a lot of the same activities. We'll do a single leg jump squat. We'll do single leg step off, single leg box jumps, and then we can build a lot of different obstacle courses and jumping into it. But the big thing is at the end, I always emphasize land soft, under control, and decelerate your body.